How's everyone doing out there? Manny Rodriguez, your Puerto Rican friend on Facebook, is back. Let's give it a little bit of time. Maybe somebody would like to join us live. So we'll just give it a little time. Today I want to talk about basically my biggest challenge I had to overcome in order to get where I'm at today. We'll just give it a little bit of time, see if anybody would like to join us while we're waiting here. But I look forward to sharing this with you today because I'm hoping that it will help someone else. So I'm going to share my biggest challenge and what I did to overcome it. So I might even get a little personal, but there's a reason for it because there's certain things I had to do to overcome it. And no matter where you are at in life, you may be faced with a challenge and you have to overcome it. Because truth be told, we're all faced with some type of challenges that we have to overcome on a regular basis. So this is just basically the biggest challenge I've had to deal with in my life that I had to overcome. So I wanted to share that with you today. Give it about another 30 seconds. See if anybody wants to join us. I appreciate you tuning in. I'm Manny Rodriguez, if you didn't already know, since you are on my Facebook page. Okay, let's get this party started. My biggest challenge I had to overcome was my childhood. I was born in Coney Island in New York, in Brooklyn, New York, Coney Island Hospital, well-known place. And I was born into a family that did not have it together. Obviously beyond my control. Drugs played a big part of my family's life. And as children, we felt it. When I was born, obviously I'm the oldest. My mother would have 3 children, and we would all pretty much be scarred by our childhood. You see, being Puerto Rican, being born in the 70s, it came with some stuff. It came with some issues. I don't know my whole family tree, so I can't really get into that in depth about it. But my childhood was pretty rough, especially for the first 13 years of my life. Extremely rough. To give you an idea, my mom would later die of AIDS because of drugs. And so we felt that pain of having a mom that was heavily into drugs, and our dad didn't know. I mean, he was pretty much out of the picture pretty young. But what I want to share is how I have overcome that baggage, how I overcome that mental setback, how I overcame basically the stuff that held me back. You see, I would later, when I graduated high school, I wanted out of New York City. To me, New York City was a big, bad memory. It was a constant reminder of where I come from. See, at the age of 13, me and my 2 brothers were taken from our mother and put into foster care system. I was fortunate to live with my aunt, my mother's flesh and blood sister. My 2 brothers, they went under foster care. They didn't come to live with my aunt. It was probably about another 3 years before they came to live with my aunt. But with that childhood, the first 13 years of my life, that really left some scars. Even till today. I'm not going to lie. I still deal with stuff. It's hard for me to be in my home with all quietness. That's still a struggle for me because it brings back reminders of those moments as a child again, before I was 13, because when I got to live with my aunt, I always had clean clothes. I always had food. So it did get better. But those first 13 years really did scar me. So when it comes to like sometimes I'll come home and my wife has it quiet. I'm like, hey, gotta put the TV on, put some music, something, because it reminds me. It takes me back to a place I don't want to go. And so, how did I overcome this baggage that I was scarred with? Here's the thing. A gentleman introduced me to a Zig Ziglar book. I wasn't very familiar with Zig Ziglar back at that time. I wasn't familiar with Tony Robbins. I really wasn't hardcore into personal development as I am now. A good friend, Hal Shepard, introduced me to Anthony Robbins' book, The Power Within. I believe that's the name of it. That was a life-changing book for me. You see, I left New York City right out of high school. I went to Terre Haute, Indiana to attend Indiana State University. So it was a huge culture change. Being Puerto Rican and leaving New York City, where I was surrounded by many Puerto Ricans, at least where I was, East Harlem, West Harlem, and going to Terre Haute, Indiana, where now I'm no longer around Puerto Ricans. I'm not really around Hispanics. And even to today, now in St. Louis, I don't have a single Puerto Rican friend. I don't remember the last time I had a Puerto Rican friend that was nearby that I can go and hang out with or something. So for me, I really had to work on some stuff because I didn't want that stuff to hold me back. I did not want that baggage, as I would call it, to hold me back. I knew what I was capable of. I knew that I had to work on this. I had to work on my smile because as a child, people picked on me about my smile. They picked on me about my nose. My nickname, some kids would call me Gonzo. That was so embarrassing as a child. So those things really stick with you. They really stick with you. But I knew I did not want to stay in that mindset. I knew I didn't want to stay with that type of negativity in my mind. So I started reading personal development books. And one of the most powerful things that helped me were self-affirmations. I would literally look in the mirror and work on my smile. I would work on the way I would talk to myself. I would lift myself up because I knew I did not want to be this person that had this baggage that held myself back. I did not want to be that. I didn't want to be the person that felt sorry for myself or had excuses to why things were. See, here's the thing. Before I was 18, I was young. So all of that, I can place blame elsewhere. After the age of 18, it was all on me. And let me tell you what, I made a lot of mistakes. Because there's a learning curve to all of it. All of life, there's learning curves. How you deal with those things, how you deal with the setbacks is your opportunity for huge comebacks. And that's the thing that I really focused on was personal development. And it blows my mind how people do not take advantage of the tools that are out there for it. Because, and I'm speaking from personal experience. What you feed your mind goes into your heart. It goes into your thinking process. And that's why it's so important that you feed your mind with growth mindset stuff. I cannot share enough how this has helped me because it is so huge. It is so huge. So for me, my biggest challenge was my childhood, the environment I grew up in, the drug-infested environment I grew up in that I did not. And let me tell you, I was hurt many times as a child, but I was not going to let that define who I was. I was not going to let that hold me back. I made the choice that I would not let that keep me down. because I knew that I can use that. And let me share. I could remember the day we were taken from my mom and put under foster care. I remember laying in bed that night and praying and thanking God for getting me out of that environment. I could remember to this day feeling like, no more worries. It was shortly after my 13th birthday that we were taken from my mom. So can you imagine, I mean, to be taken from your mom and to actually feel relief? Can you imagine? Can you imagine what kind of pain a child has to go through to be relieved, to be away from that environment, to be away from that stuff? Because I knew I was not going to, I did not want that lifestyle. And to be honest with you, soon as I graduated from high school, I graduated in June and I was on a Greyhound bus. I had no clue where I was going. I just knew I was going to what I thought was pronounced as Terre Haute to attend Indiana State University. I did not know. I just got on a bus with a big suitcase and a little tiny suitcase. I didn't even have a blanket with me. I just figured I'll deal with it when I get there. And I did exactly just that. But like I said, now it was all on me. I was 19 at that time when I got on that Greyhound bus to go to Indiana State University. Had no clue where I was going, but I knew that it was to better me, because I did not want, for me, New York City was not meant for me. It was way too wild, way too fast paced. I wanted calmness. I just wanted peace of mind. Little did I know a whole new set of problems would begin for me, because again, I was learning on my own without proper guidance. I didn't have the guidance there to help me and mentor me, and so I had to do it myself. And so that's when I realized, like, okay, I felt like, oh, I did it. When I was at Indiana State University, I can remember walking through campus looking around like, I did it. Little did I know a whole new world was about to open up for me. And my roller coaster was going to keep going. It's like a roller coaster. As human beings, we never get off this roller coaster. It's the truth. We never get off this roller coaster because life is full of challenges. You have your challenges. You have your challenges, and you have to fight through it to not let it bring you down up here. Because when you let it bring you down up here, it holds you back from your greatest accomplishments that can be for you. So you have to focus on what you need to overcome that challenge. For me, it truly was personal development. It was looking in that mirror and talking myself up. It was looking in that mirror and working on my smile. It was looking in that mirror to believe who I was capable of being. What is it that you're capable of being? Who are you? Where are you going? What do you want? What do you want? Are you doing this? Are you taking the steps necessary to get you there? A lot of you are in your own business, and you jump around from business to business looking for that home. I totally get it. Being in network marketing, I've been in network marketing for over 20 years because I always believed that was the vehicle to help me achieve my lifestyle that I wanted. But it took me for 20 years to find my home. To find a home that I would settle in and know that this is the vehicle. What is it for you? What do you need? What are the challenges that you must overcome? What is it? Be real with yourself. You must be real with yourself. Here's another thing you want to be real about. No matter how excited you are about something, self-doubt starts picking at you. It starts chipping at you. And the only person that can overcome that self-doubt is you. It is you. You're the only person that can overcome that self-doubt. Because the proper growth mindset will help you overcome anything. Anything. Because at the end of the day, we only live one life, and it's a short life. It's a short life. Believe it or not, no matter what happens, you're not promised tomorrow. You're not. So you have to ask yourself, how do you want to live that life? How do you want to live that life? What kind of mindset are you feeding yourself to live that life? What are you doing every day to become a better person? Because I'll be real with you, I'm not done having challenges. Every day seems to bring something at me that I'm like, I'm just not going to worry about it. Yesterday was Father's Day. Yesterday was Father's Day. Father's Day is rough for me. Yep, you hear me? I'm being vulnerable right now. Father's Day is rough for me because, number one, I was not an exceptional dad. I was so eager to get out of New York City. I went to college when I had a 2-year-old son that I left in New York City. That scars me. That truly, truly scars me. Because that was not... A responsible dad would not do that. I'm about to get a little teary-eyed here. A responsible dad would not do that. And that's just the truth. But for me, with all that baggage that I had on my shoulders from New York City, I just need to go to college. I just need to better myself. I just need to get out of New York City. I was selfish in my move. I was all about me. And I live with that. It's a painful. I still believe that I had to leave New York City, but I wasn't focused on my son. I wasn't focused on being a father as I was supposed to. So this is many years later. My son is in his 20s now, mid-20s just about. And it's like, I have every year. And Father's Day is a rough day for me. And yesterday was a rough day. My little thing here, it tells me what my mood is. It tells me everything. It's like a Fitbit on steroids. And all day it told me my mood was low. Because it was Father's Day and I have my struggles with not being a perfect dad or being an exceptional dad or being what I would even consider a great dad. I've learned from it. I've become better. I've become much, much better. But I still live with that because I wish I would have done things differently. You don't know until you know, right? So my biggest challenge is right here. Just use this. I use this to overcome everything. I use it because I cannot control anything that's happened in my past. Same thing for you. You cannot control anything that's happened in your past. But you sure can control today. You can control tomorrow. And if you have things that you need to work on, if you have challenges that you need to overcome, take the steps necessary for you to overcome them. For me, it was personal development. It was personal development. I had to focus on those things because I didn't want to be stuck here. I still deal with it. I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. We're human beings. We're not meant to be perfect. But you know what? I know what my challenges are. I know what my flaws are. And I focus on moving forward. I don't get caught up on the stuff I cannot control. That's one of the greatest things that I think that I have going for myself is that I don't focus on things I cannot control. I'm great about that. I am great about that. You know, but sometimes you have to hold yourself accountable to things. Sometimes you truly have to be your own boss. I work for myself. And guess what? I told myself, you want to go on your bike ride? You get your video done first. Because I have to hold myself accountable. Sometimes I'll say I'll do it after my bike ride. And guess what? I'm too tired after my bike ride to bring up this energy and go for it. So I have to be conscious of reality. So for me, like today, I'm like, okay, you want to go on your bike ride? Go live first. I've been working all morning. It's not like I haven't been working all morning, but I understand the power of going live. Because my goal is to give value. My goal is to help others. My goal is to share my story so that others can hopefully get value from it. So I know when I'm not going live, when I'm not helping my audience in any way that I can, I'm not doing the best I can be doing. I had a great mastermind this morning with Coach Tony Fonte. If you don't know him, he's the author of this book. Great book here. This is actually him and his daughter right there. And I share my weaknesses with my coach. I'm like, hey, I know the importance of going live and I haven't been doing it. And he's like, guess what, coach? Because we're both coaches. I'll hold you accountable if you want me to. I said, do it. And so to me, because I am my own boss, I said, you're not going on your bike ride until you get your live video done and give the world value. And if you notice, this is not about business today. This is about challenges, a huge challenge I had to overcome in my life. Because I hope that some of you are facing your challenges, and I hope that somebody gets some value out of this, that it helps them understand the importance of personal development and overcoming your challenges. Because at the end of the day, it's all on your shoulders. It's all on my shoulders. It's all me. What you feed this goes down here. It goes into your thought. It goes into your memory bank. And you have to be moving forward. Always be moving forward. Always. There's nothing behind you that should hold you back. There's nothing. No setback, nothing that should be holding you back. Because at the end of the day, we're humans. We're going to make mistakes. And we're going to have challenges. And you just have to focus on moving forward. I hope you got some value out of this today. It gives me pleasure to share. And I'm being vulnerable. I know. And if you know me, I do not like to talk. I don't even like to talk negative stuff. And talking about my childhood, to me, does not help. It does not help, but I hope it helps you. Because it doesn't matter anything that's happened. You could be a felon. There's always tomorrow. You can have all types of problems. And let me tell you what, money's not a problem. Money is not a problem. If you think you don't have money, you have problems, money is not a problem. You may have a wife or a husband who has cheated on you or did something bad. That's a problem. Money's not a problem. If you don't have money, it's because you're not doing stuff to make money. It's so easy to make money out there. Money's not a problem, but there are other things that are problems and challenges. Money's just not one of them. I just firmly believe that. So if you think money's a problem, think again. Money's not your problem. There's other things out there that are really a problem. Money's just a temporary thing. You just have to focus on creating more stuff to get you more income. Legally. I'm Manny Rodriguez. This is Monday. Another week to be effective in your life. Another week to change other people's lives and help other people. I hope you got some value out of this. If you have any questions, if you'd like to schedule a 30-minute strategy session, if you have challenges that you're struggling to overcome, send me an inbox message. Let's schedule a time. Because I've only shared my challenge that I had to overcome for my childhood. Once I was on my own, I created a lot more challenges that had nothing to do with my childhood. Well, maybe a little, but it was my responsibility to overcome anything. Anything. Being Puerto Rican, being in a place with no Puerto Ricans, that's different. That's different. But many, many years later, that's nothing. It's nothing. Whatever you're faced with, don't let it hold you back. Do not let it hold you back. Always be moving forward. I'm Manny Rodriguez. It's Monday afternoon. I hope you're rocking and rolling and staying focused on your goals. What are your goals? What are they? And are you moving forward? Are you moving forward? I'm Manny Rodriguez. I hope you got some value out of this. Till next time, and I look forward to hearing from you. Talk to you soon.